Hello guys. Last time we came over went over actual websites that are kind of dead that had to do with video games. Today we'll talk about what happened to Pokemon Ranger. If anyone has played these games before, you all know Pokemon Ranger was a game where you went around three different regions for all three games. Cat draw groups around Pokemon and made them capture them or made them join a team, and in the first game, and all three games, you have to use certain Pokemon to clear obstacles, use them to help capture other Pokemon. That's especially important in the third game, and of course, that's the look cool with your Flygon and Mewtwo standing behind you, which is only in the third game. And each game came up like a get. The first game was just an introductory game. The second game had many starter had more emphasis on partner Pokemon. And the third game actually had like a gimmick where you had to draw signs and stuff. In the second game, that's we find the system and made it much more easier to do. It just draw continuously and made you be able to take breaks actually, and also Pokemon could run away in your battle. But what happened to the series? No 3DS game at all, and there will likely be no Switch game because the games skipped the 3DS at all. So, what happened to Pokemon Ranger, the franchise? There is one many Pokemon spin-off franchises that have died in the years. The Stadium series I have no fond memories of because I didn't own the games at all. I owned the one for the Wii, but that was basically it. Coliseum, XD Gale, Darkness. Then after the GameCube series, even though those ones are great. Mystery Dungeon. Mostly died for me after Gates to Infinity. Super Mystery Dungeon was terrible. Um, and of course, Pokemon Sword was one of them replaced literally by Pokemon Shuffle, another similar puzzle game where you match Pokemon together. And Pokemon Battle Trolley was terrible anyway. But Pokemon Ranger, the series I think is dead. First game was introduced as a way to get Manaphy in your game. The second game was basically, you could get Darkrai, and the third one had many legendaries, could get, and even capture Arceus. And, but all those are events that you could get for the Nintendo Wi-Fi, which is now dead. But why isn't there a fourth game? I think it's just like all the other Pokemon spin-off franchises, they're dead. Even Mystery Dungeon, which we thought would go forever, is being replaced by other Mystery Dungeon franchises. Simply because there isn't much of a demand for Pokemon Ranger or Mystery Dungeon anymore. Also, Pokemon doesn't want to make spin-offs anymore. Let's look at how many spin-offs were made in the Switch era. There was Pokemon Tournament. There was a mobile port of Pokemon Quest. But other than that, there was no spin-offs for the Switch. There was also Detective Pikachu released on the 3DS, which was released a year later. A movie was released a year after the game actually came out for the 3DS. And looking at Pokemon spin-offs, and of course don't forget Pokemon Go is coming out, and all of its extensions. But Pokemon is just the spin-offs are being put on the iPhone instead of the Switch, which is the problem. I don't want to play Pokemon Go Ultim for this end. And Nintendo even tried making free-to-play spin-offs as well. But I think it's just a state of spin-offs in general. Spin-off Pokemon games kind of about dying or either moving on to Smash Bros. Oh yeah, Smash Bros. Is not a spin-off series. Most likely moving on to mobile. That's why you don't see Mystery Dungeon, Pokemon Ranger games, or Pokemon Rumble games or as and Pokepark and several other series because all the new spin-offs are mobile games. The last real spin-offs were Pokemon Detective Pikachu and yes, Pokemon Shuffle, which was also ported to the mobile. And don't forget the and several other games were put, and don't forget Pokemon Tournament came out as well for the Wii U and Switch. So overall, Pokemon spin-offs are likely to be just reduced to free-to-play Pokemon games and not be these grand games that really everybody wanted to play. We'll be getting more of this, less of more Pokemon Go spin-offs, and less of all this. Which is kind of sad, to be honest. So we're going to get more Pokemon Go and less Mystery Dozen Conquest, Troze, Pokemon Tournament, and Ranger. And it'll make people appreciate the older spin-offs a bit more, at the very least. So that's basically it. I don't think there'll be another Pokemon Ranger game unless they make a simple free-to-play mobile game, because that's where the spin-offs of Pokemon are going. The last Pokemon spin-off that was not a mobile game was Detective Pikachu and Pokemon Tournament, which both came out in 2016 in Japan. So, that's basically it about Pokemon spin-offs. They're just turned to a bunch of mobile games. Yes, it isn't really exciting, but that's how it is. Probably going to be for the rest of time. But, at least Mario is still getting spin-offs. Right?